There is a city that has been slowly sinking for over a century. Its foundations are built on marshland. Its engineers have pumped groundwater from beneath it for decades. And by 2100, according to current projections, it will be largely underwater. That city is not Venice. It is not Amsterdam. The city leading this chart in 2100 is not the one you are thinking of right now. This is the 200-year race for the cities most threatened by rising sea levels, from 1900 to 2100. And the ending will genuinely surprise you. In 1900, this chart looks nothing like what you expect. Amsterdam leads. The Netherlands has been managing water for 1,000 years. Windmills, dykes, polders. Amsterdam sits roughly 8 meters below sea level in parts. New Orleans is second, built in a delta, sinking from the moment the first French settlers arrived. Venice is third, the iconic flooding city, the one everyone talks about. And Jakarta? Jakarta barely appears on this chart in 1900. Remember that. Through 1920, 1930, 1940, the rankings barely move. Sea level rise is slow in this era. The Industrial Revolution is underway, but the full consequences won't be felt for generations. Amsterdam, New Orleans, Venice, the same three cities at the top, the same slow, inexorable risk accumulating beneath them. Then watch what starts happening after 1960. Jakarta, quietly, steadily, accelerating. Jakarta sits on the northern coast of Java, Indonesia's most populated island. In 1900, it was a colonial port city, Batavia under Dutch rule. After Indonesian independence in 1945, it became the capital of the world's fourth most populous country, and it grew at a speed that overwhelmed every piece of infrastructure beneath it. The problem is not just sea level rise, it is land subsidence. Jakarta has been pumping groundwater from underground aquifers to supply millions of residents without adequate piped water infrastructure. And when you remove water from below a city, the city sinks. In some neighborhoods of Jakarta, the land has dropped more than 4 meters in 50 years. By 1980, Jakarta is in the top 5 of this chart. By 2000, it is in the top 3. By 2026, Jakarta is challenging New Orleans and Venice for the top position. Now watch what happens after 2030. The chart reorganizes completely. The slow, terrible physics of climate change are now clearly visible in the data. Sea levels are rising. Storm surges are intensifying. Cities built below sea level that once managed their water with engineering confidence are now falling behind. Venice, New Orleans, Amsterdam. These cities have been fighting water their entire existence. But the enemy is getting stronger. Venice floods more than 200 days per year. New Orleans' levee system, rebuilt after Katrina in 2005, faces increasingly severe hurricane seasons. Amsterdam is spending billions on water management infrastructure, but Jakarta is in a different category entirely. By 2040, by 2050, Jakarta's northern districts are experiencing regular flooding that is no longer classified as extreme weather events. It is simply the new baseline. The Indonesian government, recognizing what the data shows, has made the extraordinary decision to build an entirely new capital city, Nusantara, in Borneo. Moving the seat of government away from a sinking coastal megacity is an acknowledgement that the chart you are watching is not hypothetical. Watch Bangkok, watch Dhaka, watch Ho Chi Minh City. These cities are not at the top of the chart in 2050 or 2060, but they are climbing. Southeast Asia and South Asia concentrate enormous populations in low-lying coastal deltas, exactly the geography most vulnerable to what this chart measures. The trajectory for these cities beyond 2060 is steep, and by 2100, Jakarta leads. Not because Amsterdam and Venice are safe, not because New Orleans has solved its problems, but because Jakarta's combination of sea level rise, land subsidence, and a population approaching 30 million in its vulnerable northern districts creates a scale of risk that no other city in the world can match. Jakarta at 95, Venice at 93, New Orleans at 91. These are not numbers from a disaster movie. These are projections from the IPCC, from the World Bank, from the scientific consensus that has been building for 50 years. The lesson of 200 years is this: the cities that built themselves on water, that pumped what was beneath them without replacing it, that grew faster than their infrastructure could handle, those are the cities at the top of this chart. The question is not whether sea levels are rising. The question is, which cities are prepared for what is already coming? Which city surprised you most? Leave it in the comments. And subscribe to @rankthestats. We race the world's data every week.